My name is Eleanor. My life was simple, and I was very happy. For the last 2 years, I was the happiest woman in the world. I felt truly blessed. I had a good job, I had a nice apartment, and I had Cameron. Cameron was my boyfriend. He was handsome and funny. He was the love of my life. I loved everything about him. I loved his smile. I loved the way he laughed. His laugh always warmed my heart. We spent all our time together. We went to the movies. We cooked dinner together. We talked for hours about our future. We planned to buy a house. We planned to have 2 kids and a dog. Our life was perfect. I knew I wanted to marry him. I saved money for months. Last week I bought a ring. It was a beautiful diamond ring. It was perfect, just like him. I kept it in a small box. It was a secret. I was planning to ask him to marry me. I could not wait for that moment. I was planning our perfect forever. I did not know he was lying. My best friend is Linda. We grew up together. She is like family. One Friday night, she called me. Her voice was strange. It was sad. She said, "Eleanor, can we meet? I need to talk to you." I felt worried. I said, "Sure, Linda. Is everything okay?" She said, "Just meet me." At the coffee shop, Linda was already there. She was not drinking her coffee. She was staring into the cup. Her face was pale. I sat down. I asked, "What's wrong?" She did not look at me. She kept staring down. She said, "This is very hard for me to say." My heart raced. Linda was my best friend. She told me everything. She finally looked at me. Her eyes were full of pain. She said, "I saw Cameron with another woman." The world stopped. I could not breathe. I just stared at her in silence. My heart broke in that moment. She said, "I was at the new restaurant downtown. I saw him there. He was with a tall woman with dark hair. They were laughing together. They were holding hands." She took a deep breath. She said words I'll never forget. She said, "Eleanor, I saw them kiss." No, it was not true. It was a mistake. Linda was wrong. Cameron loved me. He would never do that. I trusted him. I trusted him with my whole heart. I stood up. I was angry. I was angry at Linda for telling me this lie. I shouted, "You are lying. Why are you saying this?" People in the coffee shop turned to look at us. Linda looked at me with so much sadness. She said, "I'm your best friend." Her voice was soft but firm. "I would never lie to you about this. I am so sorry, Eleanor." I saw the truth in her eyes. She was not lying. My perfect world shattered. I left the coffee shop. I walked for hours. I did not know where. My mind was a storm of confusion and pain. Every happy memory with Cameron broke. Was it all a lie? Was he pretending all this time? My chest felt heavy. Finally, I went to his apartment. I needed to hear it from him. I knocked on the door. He opened it with a big smile, saying, "Eleanor, I missed you." His smile faded when he saw my face. He asked, What's wrong? You look like you saw a ghost. I walked inside. I did not speak. I just looked at him. I looked at the man I loved deeply, the man I wanted to spend my life with. I asked a simple question. I said, "Who is she, Cameron?" His face turned white. He knew everything. Tears started to run down his face. He started to cry. He said, "Sorry. Eleanor, I am so sorry. It was a mistake. A stupid mistake." He begged. He tried to hold my hand. I pulled it away. His tears made me angry. My heart was breaking with rage. He told me everything. She was a woman from his office. It started with coffee, then lunch. Then one night, they went for a drink. He said it was nothing. He said he loved me. He begged me to forgive him. "Please, Eleanor, don't leave me. We can fix this." I listened to his words, but they were empty sounds. The trust was gone. It was like a broken mirror with pieces that never healed. You can try to put them back, but you will always see the cracks. A future with him was a future with doubt and the memory of betrayal. I went home. I did not sleep for days. I just sat in darkness. I thought about our life together, the house, the kids, the dog. All gone. It was all a dream. A beautiful dream that became a nightmare of lies. I loved him so much, but love was no longer enough. A part of me wanted to forgive him. A part of me wanted to believe in love. I wanted to believe we could fix it and bring back what we had before. But deep inside, I knew I could not do that. I could not continue. I could not build my life on a broken foundation that would never stay strong. A few days later, I went back to his apartment to return the key. I looked at him and said, "I can't do this, Cameron. Not anymore with you. I can't be with you anymore, Cameron." He cried and cried, tears falling endlessly down. It was the hardest thing I ever had to do, to walk away. I walked away from the man I loved. I walked away from our future. Every step away from him felt like tearing my own heart slowly into pieces. My heart was broken. The next few months were very difficult, and I felt lost. I felt alone every single day. The world around me seemed to lose its color. I focused only on my work. I worked long hours just to forget my pain. I went to the gym every single day without fail, pushing my body to exhaustion. I spent time with Linda and with my other friends. They became my support system. They listened to me patiently. They made sure I was never left alone in pain. Slowly, very slowly, I started to heal. 6 months later, a friend asked for help. She asked me to volunteer at a community event where we were cleaning up a park. At first, I did not want to go, but my friend insisted strongly that I should. At the park, I met a man named Marcus. He had a kind smile. His smile was gentle, his eyes were warm, and his presence made me feel calm. We talked while we picked up trash together. The conversation was easy, simple, and natural. Marcus was so different from Cameron. He was calm, he was honest, and he listened. There were no games with him. There was no drama, only peace and understanding. We started spending time together often. We went for coffee and enjoyed quiet mornings. We went for long walks under the sky. We talked about everything openly, without fear. With him, I felt something new, a sense of peace, safety, and gentle comfort. I felt a sense of safety I had never known before in my entire life. With Marcus, my heart could finally rest. I learned a very painful lesson. Sometimes the love you think is perfect is not. Sometimes a broken heart is a door to something better waiting on the other side. My relationship with Cameron was a dream that ended in a painful, cruel reality. But that pain led me to Marcus. It led me to a mature love, a love built on trust and honesty. I am grateful for that lesson now. I am grateful for Marcus. Love returned to me in a truer form. Thanks for watching. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep learning with me.